I was 4 months pregnant when Alpha King Dominic's guards dragged me to the border. My own pack watched in silence as he declared me a traitor. My crime? Rejecting his proposal. My punishment? Exile into rogue territory, where wolves like me don't survive the night. But here's what none of them knew. The child growing inside me wasn't some random mistake. It was a secret that could destroy everything Dominic had built. And the father? He wasn't just unknown, he was impossible. 3 months earlier, I was the happiest wolf in the Silver Moon Pack. I had my position as a healer, my small cabin near the western woods, and absolutely no interest in pack politics. Then the dreams started. Every full moon, I'd wake up in places I didn't recognize, with marks on my skin I couldn't explain. That's when I realized I wasn't just sleepwalking. Someone was using ancient magic to reach me. And when I finally discovered who, everything I knew about my world shattered. The first time I saw the Alpha King up close, he was standing over a wolf who'd challenged his authority. I was there as a healer, not a spectator, but when Dominic Ravenclaw looked up from his defeated opponent and locked eyes with me, I felt my wolf recoil in disgust. Not fear, disgust. "You," he said, pointing at me with a blood-stained claw, "you'll tend to him, and then you'll join me for dinner." It wasn't our quest. My best friend, Kara, grabbed my arm as I gathered my supplies. "Don't go, Lyra. Everyone knows what happens to she-wolves who dine with the Alpha King. They either become his chosen mate or they disappear." I should have listened. That dinner changed everything. Dominic didn't want a mate, he wanted a possession. He spent 3 hours listing why I should be honored by his attention. My healing abilities, my rare silver-tipped fur, the fact that I was unmated at 24, which he found convenient. When he finally asked me to be his Luna, I didn't hesitate. No. The room went silent. His beta, Jackson, actually gasped. No one rejected the Alpha King. Ever. Dominic smiled, but his eyes promised violence. "You'll reconsider. They always do." That night, the dreams intensified. I found myself in a moonlit clearing, but my body felt different, powerful, and there was a wolf beside me, massive, with fur the color of midnight and eyes that glowed like molten gold. When he spoke, his voice resonated in my bones. "You're stronger than you know, Lyra. Don't let him break you." I woke up with those words on my lips and a strange warmth in my chest. For the first time since rejecting Dominic, I didn't feel afraid. But 3 weeks later, I missed my cycle, and when the pack doctor confirmed my pregnancy, my world imploded.
"This is impossible," I whispered, staring at the positive test. "I haven't been with anyone." Dr. Reeves, our pack physician, gave me a look that mixed pity with suspicion. "Lyra, I've been doing this for 30 years. Impossible pregnancies don't exist. You need to tell me who the father is." But I genuinely didn't know. My conscious memories were blank. No romance, no one-night stand, nothing. Just those dreams that felt more real than reality itself. Then, something strange happened. Dr. Reeves opened his mouth to press further, to accuse me of lying, and I felt a flutter in my womb. Not movement, the baby was too small for that, but a pulse of warmth, and suddenly I knew, absolutely knew, that he was about to lie to Dominic about patient confidentiality. I tried to keep it quiet, but in a pack of 200 wolves, secrets last about as long as fresh meat at a barbecue. Within days, the rumors started. Within a week, Dominic summoned me to his office. He was waiting with Jackson and 3 council members, the setup for a trial. "You rejected me," Dominic said slowly, "because you were already carrying another wolf's pup. Who is he?" "I don't know." He laughed, actually laughed. "You don't know. You expect me to believe that? It's the truth." The warmth pulsed again, stronger this time, and I watched Dominic's confident smirk falter for just a second, like he'd sensed something off. Jackson stepped forward. Alpha, pack law is clear. An unmated she-wolf who conceives outside of a sanctioned bond is considered problematic, especially one who rejected your claim. The threat hung in the air like smoke. Dominic stood, circling me like prey. I'll give you one chance, Lyra. Claim me as your mate. Let me raise this bastard as my heir, and all is forgiven. Refuse, and you'll face pack judgment. Every instinct screamed at me to say yes, to survive, to protect my baby. Instead, I heard myself say, I'd rather die than let you touch my child. Jackson's hand moved to his blade. One of the elders whispered, "Insolent bitch." The room erupted, but Dominic just smiled that terrible smile. Banishment, then, effective immediately.
They stripped me of everything but the clothes on my back. No supplies, no money, no connections. Just a pregnant wolf walking into the deadliest stretch of unclaimed territory in the region. Rogue lands weren't just dangerous, they were where exiled wolves went to die. No pack structure meant no protection, no resources, and definitely no mercy. The strong preyed on the weak, and I was about to become the weakest thing out here. I made it 3 miles before the first rogues picked up my scent. There were 4 of them, mangy, desperate, and hungry for any advantage. The leader, a scarred male missing half an ear, grinned when he saw me. Well, well, fresh meat, and pregnant too. This is our lucky day, boys. I backed against a tree, trying to remember the self-defense training I'd ignored for years. Stay back, I'm not worth the trouble. Oh, sweetheart, Half-Ear laughed. You're worth exactly the trouble we're looking for. They circled closer. My wolf wanted to shift, to fight, but I was too weak, too scared, too... The air changed. It happened so fast I almost missed it. 1 second, the rogues were advancing. The next, a massive black wolf exploded from the tree line, moving like liquid shadow. He took down 2 rogues before they could even react. The third tried to run. He didn't make it. Half-Ear shifted to human form, hands raised. We didn't know she was claimed, man. We thought... The black wolf's growl cut him off, a sound so primal, so absolutely dominant, that Half-Ear pissed himself before running. Then the wolf turned to me. Those golden eyes, that midnight fur. It was him, the wolf from my dreams. He shifted, and I saw his human form for the first time. Tall, built like a warrior, with silver scars crossing his chest and arms. But it was his face that made my breath catch. Strong jaw, sharp features, and an expression that mixed relief with something deeper. Lyra, he said, and my wolf recognized him instantly. I've been searching for you for 4 months. We don't have much time. Who are you? I demanded, even as every cell in my body screamed that I already knew him. My name is Damon Nightshade. He stepped closer and I caught his scent. Pine, earth, and something wild that made my wolf purr. And before you ask, yes, I'm the father of your child. The world tilted. That's impossible. I've never met you. I've never... Not in your waking life, he interrupted gently, but every full moon for the past 6 months, I've been calling to your wolf. Ancient magic, Lyra, the kind that bypasses conscious choice when mates are kept apart. Mates? I choked on the word. He nodded. True mates, the first our bloodlines have produced in 3 generations. But there's a reason we were kept apart, a reason Dominic Ravenclaw would rather kill you than let this child be born. He led me deeper into the forest, to a hidden cave system I'd never known existed. Inside, it was surprisingly comfortable. Someone had been living here, preparing. As we settled, Damon explained everything. He was the last surviving member of the Nightshade pack, a bloodline that once rivaled the great packs in power and magic. 20 years ago, Dominic's father had orchestrated their destruction, claiming the Nightshades practiced dark magic. Only Damon survived, hidden as a child. But it was all lies, he said, pain etching his features. My family was eliminated because we carried something the Ravenclaw bloodline wanted, the ability to bond with multiple pack territories, to unite wolves under a banner of choice, not force. We were a threat to his monopoly on power. And our child? Damon's hand moved to my stomach, gentle. The moment his palm made contact, I felt her respond. Not a kick, a pulse of recognition. And suddenly I knew with absolute certainty that everything he just said was true. We'll carry both bloodlines, he continued. Nightshade magic and Silver Moon strength. Dominic knows this. He's known since the moment I started reaching for you. That's why he proposed. He wanted to claim the child as his own, to absorb that power. Rage, pure and simple, flooded through me. He was going to steal my baby's heritage. He still will if we're not careful. The next 3 weeks were the strangest of my life. Damon taught me things about wolf nature I'd never learned in Silvermoon. How to hunt silently, how to mask my scent, how to tap into the magic sleeping in my bloodline, awakened now by our bond and the pregnancy. But the strangest thing was the baby herself. Whenever Damon spoke about the past, I'd feel warmth in my womb. When he tried to downplay his pain or lie about being fine after nightmares, I'd feel a cold flutter, like she was already calling him out. "Tell me about them," I asked one night as we lay under the stars. "Your family." Damon's voice went soft. "My mother was the alpha, strongest wolf I ever knew. She used to say that real power wasn't about domination, it was about protecting those who couldn't protect themselves." He paused. "She died protecting me, made my father and sister create a diversion while she hid me in the underground tunnels." Cold flutter. I sat up. "That's not the whole truth, is it?" He stared at me. "How did you—" "I don't know, I just felt it." He exhaled slowly. "She didn't just hide me, she made me promise to survive, to rebuild, and I've spent 20 years thinking I failed her." Warmth spread through my abdomen. Truth. I took his hand. "You didn't fail. You're here. You found me. That's what she wanted." That's when we heard it. Howls in the distance. Not rogues, pack wolves. Dominic had found us. Damon moved immediately, pulling me deeper into the cave system. "There's a tunnel that leads to neutral territory. You need to run." "I'm not leaving you." "Lyra, listen to me." He grabbed my shoulders. "If they take you, they'll kill our child. But if you escape, if you survive, you can expose them. Tell the other packs the truth about the Nightshades. Our daughter—" "Daughter?" He smiled despite the danger. "I can feel her. She's going to be extraordinary, but only if you get her to safety." The howls grew closer. Damon shifted, his black wolf form massive in the confined space. "Go, now. I'll hold them off." I ran. Tears streaming, heart breaking, but I ran. Because he was right. Our daughter's life mattered more than my pride or my fear. The tunnel was narrow and dark, but I navigated by instinct and the faint pull of magic Damon had taught me to follow. Behind me, I heard snarling, fighting, Damon buying me time with his life. I emerged in a rocky clearing just as the sun broke the horizon, and standing there, waiting, was someone I never expected to see. Kara, my best friend, the one who'd warned me about Dominic. "Lyra, thank God," she gasped, running forward. "I've been searching for days. After they exiled you, I started asking questions, too many questions." "What are you doing here?" "Escaping. Dominic killed Elder Thomas 3 nights ago, made it look like a heart attack, but I saw the claw marks. He's purging anyone who might question him." She grabbed my hand. "We need to get to the Moonstone Pack. Alpha Kira is Dominic's rival. She'll grant us sanctuary if we have proof of his crimes." "What proof?" Kara pulled a worn journal. Elder Thomas's records, 20 years of lies documented, including the truth about the Nightshade massacre. I felt that warmth again, stronger now. My daughter recognized the importance of what Kara held. Hope flared in my chest. Damon, we have to go back for him. There's no time. Dominic brought 30 wolves, Lyra. If we go back, we all die. She was right. I hated it, but she was right. We traveled for 2 days, staying off main paths, hunting small game, moving toward Moonstone territory. My pregnancy was showing now, making stealth harder, but every time I wanted to give up, I felt her, my daughter, fighting to exist. We were half a mile from the Moonstone border when they caught us. Jackson, Dominic's beta, with 12 elite guards. Well, well, he sneered, the traitor and the spy. Dominic will be so pleased. But before they could grab us, the air filled with howls. Not Silvermoon, Moonstone. Alpha Kira herself emerged from the trees, 30 warriors at her back. She was legendary, scarred, powerful, and absolutely ruthless. She looked at me, then at my swollen belly, then at Jackson. "You're on my land," she said simply. "Leave, now."
Jackson actually hesitated. Alpha Kiera's reputation wasn't just fearsome, it was deserved. She'd once fought off an entire rogue army with just 20 wolves. Her pack didn't lose. "The pregnant one is a criminal," Jackson tried. "Alpha Dominic has decreed—" "I don't care what Dominic decrees." Kiera took one step forward and 3 of Jackson's guards stepped back. "On Moonstone land, I am law, and these women are under my protection." The standoff lasted 10 seconds that felt like hours. Then Jackson made the smart choice. He retreated, but not before promising, "Dominic will hear of this." Kiera watched them go, then turned to us. "You have 1 minute to convince me not to throw you both back across the border. Start talking." Kara handed her Elder Thomas's journal. "It's all in here. The Nightshade massacre, the covered-up murders, the power grab. Dominic Ravenclaw isn't just corrupt, he's built his entire reign on genocide and lies." Kiera read in silence, her expression darkening with each page. She glanced up once, eyes narrowed. "If even half of this is fabricated, I'll—" "It's real," I interrupted. The words came out with certainty I didn't understand. Every word. Kiera studied me for a long moment. "You sound very sure for someone who wasn't there." I placed my hand on my stomach. "I am." Something shifted in Kiera's expression. Respect, maybe, or recognition of something deeper. "If this is true, it changes everything. The council would have to strip him of his title, but I need more than a dead elder's journal." "I can testify," said I, "about the forced claiming attempt, the exile, everything. And when my daughter is born, a simple bloodline test will prove she carries Nightshade magic, living proof that Damon's family wasn't evil." "Damon Nightshade?" Kiera's eyes widened. "The ghost wolf? He's real?" "He's my mate, and he's currently fighting Dominic's forces to protect me." Kiera's jaw set. "Then we move fast. Come." She led us to her compound, a fortified settlement that made Silvermoon look primitive. Within hours, she'd convened an emergency council of the 5 major packs in the region. Dominic, of course, was invited, required to attend. He arrived with an army, clearly expecting a fight. Instead, he found a tribunal, 5 alphas, all staring at him with expressions ranging from curiosity to outright hostility. Kiera stood. "Dominic Ravenclaw, you've been accused of multiple crimes against pack law. How do you plead?" Dominic's smile was venomous. "This is a joke. You have no authority." Then Damon walked in. He was covered in blood, limping, clearly exhausted, but he was alive, and when our eyes met across the council chamber, I felt our bond surge with relief and love so powerful it brought tears. My daughter pulsed with warmth so intense I gasped. Dominic went pale, actually pale. "You're supposed to be dead." "Disappointed?" Damon's voice was cold. "Your father made the same mistake, assumed that killing most of us meant killing all of us."
An elder 2 seats down from Dominic shifted uncomfortably. Kiera caught it. Elder Brennan, something to add? No, Alpha. Strange, you look like you've seen a ghost. The council erupted in whispers. Daemon Nightshade, the supposedly extinct bloodline, standing before them in the flesh. Kiera raised her hand for silence. Let the record show that Daemon Nightshade lives and has come to testify. Proceed. What followed was devastating. Daemon described the massacre in detail, the false accusations, the systematic murder of his family, the cover-up orchestrated by Dominic's father and the complicit elders. Every time Dominic tried to interrupt with a contradiction, I felt that cold flutter. When Daemon spoke his truth, warmth. She's a truth-teller, I whispered to Kiera. Who? My daughter. She can sense it, even now. Kiera provided Elder Thomas's journal, which corroborated every word. I testified about Dominic's attempted forced claiming, the exile, how he'd tried to steal my daughter's heritage for his own power. When I finished, Dominic stood. A liar from a liar, I said simply, and I knew, my daughter knew. The room went silent. Alpha Kiera addressed Dominic directly. You've heard the evidence. You've been given every chance to defend yourself. What say you? Dominic stood slowly. For a moment, I thought he might actually confess, might show some shred of honor. Instead, he shifted and lunged straight for me. He was fast, alpha strong, fueled by rage and desperation. His claws were out, aimed at my stomach, at our daughter. He didn't make it. Daemon intercepted him mid-leap. 2 wolves, black and silver, colliding in a brutal display of dominance. But this wasn't a fair fight. This was 20 years of grief, rage, and justice distilled into pure violence. The other alphas didn't intervene. They watched, judged. It lasted 90 seconds. When it was over, Dominic lay on the floor, throat exposed in submission, Daemon's jaws hovering over his jugular. Do it, Dominic gasped. Finish it, like your whore mother should have finished my father. Daemon's growl shook the chamber, but he didn't bite. He stepped back, shifted to human form, and spoke with quiet authority. No, you don't get a warrior's death. You get to live with your shame. The council's judgment was swift. Dominic Ravenclaw was stripped of his title, his pack, and his freedom. He'd spend the rest of his life in the Moonstone detention facility, a warning to any alpha who thought power meant domination. The Silver Moon Pack, leaderless and shamed, dissolved. Most of its members scattered to other territories. A few, including Kara, petitioned to join Moonstone. But the real surprise came from Alpha Kiera herself. The Nightshade bloodline was wronged, she announced to the assembled council, and pack law demands restitution. I propose we grant Daemon Nightshade territory to rebuild his pack, with full council recognition and protection. It passed unanimously. 3 months later, I gave birth to our daughter in the newly established Nightshade territory. We named her Arya, after Daemon's mother. She came into the world screaming, strong, and absolutely perfect. The bloodline test confirmed what we already knew, but the healer's next words changed everything. Your daughter, she has a gift. She can sense truth from lies. Even as a newborn, her heartbeat changes when someone speaks falsely near her. A power born from injustice, a gift to prevent what happened to us from ever happening again. 5 years later, I stood at the edge of Nightshade territory, watching Arya play with the other pack children. She was a force of nature at 5. Daemon's eyes, my silver-tipped fur, and a personality that feared absolutely nothing. "Mama," she called, running over. "Elder Kara says I have to learn healing magic, but I want to learn fighting magic like Papa."
I knelt down, brushing dirt from her face. Why not both? Her eyes lit up, that perfect combination of innocence and determination. Besides, I added with a smile, you'll need healing magic to fix all the warriors you'll beat in training. She giggled. Uncle Jackson says I'm already better than him. Uncle Jackson is a terrible liar, sweetheart. I know, she grinned. That's why it's funny when he tries. Damon joined us, sliding his arm around my waist. The council's requesting our presence at the summit next month. Apparently, 3 more packs want to adopt our governance model. The world's changing, I murmured. Because you changed it, he corrected. You could have said yes to Dominic, could have taken the easy path. Instead, you chose integrity when it cost you everything. I looked at our daughter, at our thriving pack, at the mate I'd found across impossible odds. It didn't cost me everything, it cost me the things that didn't matter. That night, as Arya slept between us, I thought about the girl who'd been dragged to the border 4 months pregnant and terrified. She'd thought exile was an ending. She'd been wrong. It was the beginning. Of justice, of truth, of a love so powerful it literally created new life in the face of absolute destruction. Dominic Ravenclaw had tried to erase the Nightshade legacy. Instead, he'd given it exactly what it needed to rise again, a reason to fight, a reason to survive. And now, that legacy would outlive him by generations. I kissed Arya's forehead and whispered the words Damon's mother had once said. Real power isn't about domination, it's about protecting those who can't protect themselves. In her sleep, my daughter smiled. And I knew, with absolute certainty, that she understood.